Yesterday was day one of our IVF journey. I wasn't sure if I was going to film all of this, maybe try and keep something of my life private and off the internet, but it really is such a process. And I know if you're here right now, you're new to the process and you're unsure and you're scared and you don't know what to expect. So hopefully me documenting our journey will help you, because I have a friend going through it right now and she's really helping me get prepared for what to expect. So hopefully I can do that for at least one person. I will be happy. So yesterday was day one from scratch of our IVF journey. We went to the Waltham Boston IVF facility. They're the only one open on Saturday and Sunday. We both had blood work done. I had previously had genetic testing or chromosome testing. We both have already done genetic testing. So he had to have genetic testing. My doctor thinks I potentially have PCOS or a blood clot disorder. So I went for testing for that, and I'm sure other things. And then I had an ultrasound while I was there to check if I have cysts on my ovaries. And again, I'm sure something else too while they were in there probing around. And this week, I'm going to have 2 procedures done. I'm going to have a biopsy and something else. I can't remember. I'll obviously fill you in when I go in this week on what's going on. But I pretty much told them, if you're going to be in me, you might as well get it done while you're in there, because I don't really feel like driving back and forth. I know it's going to be a long road. I know my husband and I are going to need a lot of patience. A lot of patience. This isn't an easy road. It's not a fast road, but I'm going to take you guys with me. So buckle up. I am on my way to Boston IVF, the Providence, Rhode Island location. Today is my biopsy and I'm having something else done. But they're going to be doing 2 things while they are down there and inside me today. I think not knowing what the second thing is actually helping with my nerves, because I wasn't able to look it up. They said I'm definitely going to be cramping. I mean, they're taking a biopsy, like they're cutting something out of my cervix or uterus or wherever they're going down there today. So obviously going to get some cramping. Hopefully this is an in and out procedures and I'm not here for a long time. So just like smack dab in the middle of my workday. But I think that's just going to be my life lately. A lot of treatments and testing at all times at any given point. So let's head up to Providence. That was awful. Oh my God, that was awful. So I went in for a biopsy. I don't even know the other name right now. They couldn't even do the biopsy. They were doing like a saline ultrasound I don't fucking know right now. That was awful. So despite every anatomy drawing of fucking vaginas, your cervix really does not go straight up. Maybe like 25% of cervixes are straight into everything. So mine has like a really, really deep curve, which is normal. It's not like an issue or anything, but that means that they couldn't get the catheter in, so they had to keep using like bigger speculums, which is what opens me up, and then they had to keep getting like more rigid catheters, and they had to use something to keep my cervix as like straight as possible. They were doing an ultrasound on top of my stomach. They were pushing down on top of my, like, everything. That hurts so bad. They gave me the option if I wanted to do the biopsy, but they said that they wouldn't even recommend it because of, like, they'd have to go back in with the speculum and how traumatic that just would be. So they're going to put on my file that they weren't able to do the biopsy, and if they need it down the road, I'll have to come back. But the biopsy was what was supposed to hurt the most, like supposed to scrape and be the most discomfort, and that was just like, that was supposed to be the easy test.
Wow, that was very emotional. I didn't want to leave the vlog or jump into something else without sitting down and really explaining what had happened to me without crying, being able to get through the whole thing. So it has been 5 days since I just filmed that, what you just watched, and I'm clearly in a better headspace than I was in that last clip. So what had happened is I had gone in to have the procedures, and when I spoke to the nurse, I just let her know that there had been a time about a year ago, HSG. Everything came back great, but the one thing that I struggled with when I went to go do it was they had an issue getting the catheter in. I was literally hanging there, legs in the air, for at least 20 minutes while they were trying to figure it out. It wasn't painful by any means. It was more just annoying. Not a great time. So I explained that to the nurse. She said, no problem. We'll check your file. I'm sure it will be great. So she came back in with the PA, and they're poking and they're spreading and they're trying to get in, and they couldn't get in. They could not get in. I could feel her twisting the speculum in like different ways to try and get a better view. You got a bright light shining into your private cavity, like very, very sexy, very fun, not uncomfortable at all. They ended up having to call in one of the doctors that was on staff. They just kept saying, breathe, 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 explaining that they had to keep getting different catheters and different speculums, and the women were beyond amazing. The PA, the fertility doctor, and the nurse that was in the room with me were so nice. They definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable for what I was going through. I think you can tell that it wasn't just like nerves when you just saw me crying. It was painful. They were starting me off with the sonogram because they said it was the least painful of the two, and it was going to be a 5-minute procedure that ended up being an hour, which wasn't normal. When they finally had the biggest speculum they could put in me, opening me up, and then they had to put a clamp in to straighten out my cervix. So my cervix has been crooked for 30 years of my life, never been straightened before, and here's a metal clamp making sure it stays straight while inserting a rigid catheter. So not a catheter that's like cooked pasta, one that's like a rigid needle to enter inside me, and then getting a balloon in me, and then pumping me full of saline while I press down on my belly, and then they're doing an ultrasound on top. So it was just so much going on. But once they did get the catheter in and they were able to pump me up with the saline, they said that my uterus looked great. There was nothing that they saw that was wrong. They let me know that having a crooked cervix is not something that I should be worried about. It's common. It's actually more common to have a crooked one than a straight one, I guess. At the end of it, they didn't really want to put me through anything else. They said that they're not going to advise that I get the biopsy done unless something came back in my blood work, because every test that I have done has come back normal, shining gold star. I ended up taking off my sweatshirt. The t-shirt I was wearing was soaked through. I cried so much, my mask was deteriorating. My glasses were all fogged up. It was a great day. It was awesome. I had fluids coming out of me for the rest of the day because they were pumping me with water. I want to let you guys know that if you do have to get this, I'm not trying to scare you. Just know that for some people, it's a very simple, easy procedure. And for other unlucky ladies like me, it's not. And you won't know until you have to do it. And then yesterday, I thought it was really weird because I had that done Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days after the procedure, I started spotting. Just wanted to make a note of it because I think that happened because of the procedure. I do have an appointment for acupuncture Wednesday morning. Good morning. Today is acupuncture day. So I'm heading in a little bit earlier. I ended up emailing my fertility doctor last night. I told you guys I had spotting on Sunday. I'm not sure if I told you I had some spotting on Monday. And when I looked that up, they said that was normal. But then last night I had severe cramping, like similar to the first day of my period. And that's not normal because I'm ovulating this week. That's literally never happened to me before. So I just emailed her and I pretty much said, like, I know what happened to me during that procedure wasn't normal, so I wouldn't be surprised if these were some of the symptoms after. But let me know if I should head to like the ER or something, because I don't want it to turn into a pelvic infection or anything like that. But it's a lot better this morning, so hopefully acupuncture goes well. I'm just gonna chug a water and head there. Okay, just wrapped up my first acupuncture appointment. It was a walk in the park. She was so nice. I asked her if I would get sick after, and she said, no, you should like never, ever get sick after. Everything is about balancing out your system, not like forcing anything out. When we started, she took my pressure. I guess you have like 6 different pressure points for different organs. So she was able to tell that my ovaries were firing off, which is crazy because I'm ovulating literally like today. She could tell that my stomach was low, and that's because I hadn't eaten yet today. She could tell that my heart and my kidneys were really low as well, and that's something we need to work on. And she thinks that's contributing, or that's a factor because of my stress. So just being overworked. What the hell is that? A fuzzball. I'll have to get that out after. She just thinks I'm being overworked, and everything needs to kind of be calm, obviously, for your body to be healthy and stable for a healthy pregnancy. So we did acupuncture on the front. So I had it in my wrists. I mean, literally not like you can tell, but like no marks, couldn't feel it. Had it in my wrists, my head, my stomach, and my ankles. And then she did like an energy healing, so Reiki on me for maybe 10 minutes, if that. I laid there for 15 minutes. She came back in, flipped me over. She did them on my back. I think I had about 15 in my back. Again, couldn't feel them at all. Laid there for another 15 minutes, and then she did a quick acupuncture massage. I think acupuncture massage. She just kind of like rubbed out all of those points. And yeah, I'm going back in next week just to see how my system is in comparison. After next week's appointment, I'm pretty sure is when my fertility treatments are going to not start, but like everything is going to start kicking in with my fertility doctor. So we're going to play it by ear to see what my body needs at that time period, and hopefully acupuncture can be another factor with all of the fertility medicine to make sure that my body is strong and can keep a pregnancy. I feel very relaxed. That was a great way to start off my day. I'm chilling. So I'm gonna go home and eat. One thing I do need to be better about is eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My body is just, I'm not healthy. I've always had terrible diet. So I really need to get better about that, and then just exercise.